Hello. Oh, that took me a second to get the mic working. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. It is me. I am here. All right, I know. So this camera has been super incredibly annoying. It's been really fuzzy today. I don't know what's going on. We're going to work our way through it. So hi, everyone. Let me know if you can at least see my face, hear my face. Can you hear the keyboard? Oh, there we go. Yay. Tech. We have to love tech, right? All right, let me know if you can hear my voice, see my face, hear my keyboard, all the fun stuff. Let's see who is in the house tonight. We've got, looking at the chats here, we got Pat in West Michigan. Hello, hello. We got Sonus in the UK. Excellent. Oh, we got Boston in here. We got Gettysburg. Nice. We got UK. We got Wisconsin, New Mexico, Southern California. It's Good Tunes Tuesday. Yes, Sherry, right? We always love our Tuesday night hangouts. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are regular or if you're brand new, welcome. Yes, I always have my go-to cup of coffee or cocoa. Don't you worry, I've got caffeine. We've got, what else we got? We got Indiana, we got South Carolina, some more in the UK. Thanks for staying up in the UK. I know it's late where you are at. We got Pennsylvania, Ohio, Iowa, Florida. Beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. Hey, everyone. So happy you all are joining me. Someone says, on a proper computer and keyboard today instead of iPad. Nice. We got the Netherlands. We got Cape Cod. Excellent, excellent. Thank you all so much for joining me. We got Rhode Island. I love it. I hope everyone is doing well. I know we've had some crazy weather this past week in different parts of the US at least. So I hope everyone is staying cool and dry and safe. So I'm excited to be joining with you all. All right. I know this camera is going to be like this probably for a while. So at least you can hear my keyboard. You can see my keys. And if this ever does that, where it's just constantly being fuzzy, my hands are really moving, I promise. All right, awesome, awesome. So let me go ahead and pull up, boom, our menu for this evening. Our menu, like we're a restaurant, right? Musical buffet, piano buffet. We're gonna do like what we've been on our pattern doing during our weekly live streams. It's so much fun. We're gonna have 2 rounds of member song request and audience coaching. So I'm so excited about that. So as a reminder, if you're new, what the difference between those two are, member song requests are people who join the channel as a member, which you totally don't have to, it's completely optional. But if you ever see that big black join button below YouTube videos, you can spend a few dollars to join a channel as a member, and my channel members get access to a bunch of stuff. They get a lot of members only videos. They get a new one each week, and now we have a whole library of them. And I break down popular songs, how to play them at different levels. I give out downloadable free lead sheets to the members. Lots of fun stuff. And one of the ways that I show love to members is once you become a member, you fill out a chart for me and you tell me your name, some of your favorite songs, and then I have a lottery system right before I go live every Tuesday. I literally just randomly pull a name from the chart, and if your name is chosen, then I play one of the songs you listed and I dedicate it to you. And I improvise a rendition of it just in real time, so it's never perfect, but I always want to show you all I practice what I preach, I walk my own talk, and the way I kind of improvise a rendition of it on the spot, I'm using all the tips and tricks and techniques that I teach on my channel and in my piano lessons and course and all that fun stuff. And then the audience coaching is not just for members. Audience coaching is for anyone. So many of you have already participated, and keep them coming. What that is you send to me a video or an audio of yourself playing something on the piano. And I always say, I do not care what experience level you're at. I don't care if you're a very beginner level, like still send me something. And then again, there's a lottery system, and if your video or audio is randomly chosen for the live stream that week, then we play it, and I give hopefully some helpful feedback, and it's really educational, not just for the person who got chosen, but for all of you, because a lot of you are working on the same stuff. So that's what's really awesome about it. So hopefully it's really educational, and we're building a community. It's really fun to have this piano family we're building together. We're also super supportive. So if you want to participate in that, you'll see in the video description box below different links. One of the links is for it's called the free mini piano reviews, I think. And there's a link, and it takes you to a web page where you fill out just a few easy questions about yourself, and it gives instructions on how to submit the audio or video to me. Yeah. So let's get going. All right, let's see. Checking in here. Oh, we have a question. Do you keep the audience pieces on file, or do we have to resubmit each week? Oh, great question. Once you send it to me, I keep it as an online database, so you don't have to resend me something each week. Like, for example, if you don't get pulled for tonight, it doesn't mean what you submitted goes in the wayside. Once you send something to me, it stays in that basket for lottery, so it can get randomly chosen. And that's why I always tell people too, like if you've been chosen in the past, please submit more. Or if you want to submit multiple ones, that's fine. And then if your name gets chosen and you've submitted multiple, then I'll just randomly choose one. And then your other ones will stay in the basket. So once you submit, you're in the basket, but you can keep sending as many as you want. Some of you have sent one, some of you have sent 4 or 5, which is awesome. Like keep them coming. It all just goes in a basket and it just gets randomly pulled each week. Yeah. And same thing with the members. As a member, once you join, you'll get instant access to the chart. I link it in the YouTube members videos, and you can keep filling that chart out for me too. So if I choose your name for the song request, song dedication, it doesn't mean you won't get chosen again. It's just randomized each time. Yeah? So great question. Great question. All right. And I always like to point out, if you're shy, still participate. All right. You'll notice if you've been watching in recent weeks, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. It can be just an audio, or it can be a video where your face isn't in it. It doesn't have to be, you know, incredible professional video and sound. It's just can be, you know, you recording yourself on a phone and sending it to me. I don't even have to say your actual name if you're really shy. In the chart or in the document you fill out for me, you can give me a nickname to call you if you don't want me to say your real name. So I promise you, even if you're kind of shy, I don't want you to be embarrassed about it. We have a lot of fun together. But if you're shy, you can still do it without showing your face and without giving your name if you don't want to. Yeah? Okay. So let's get started, everyone. So we're going to have our first round of member song requests and audience coaching. And so right before we went live, I did my lottery system and pulled the 2 song requests and the 2 live coachings. So I can go ahead and give you a heads up, kind of some teasers. We're going to have a mixture tonight, which is what's fun about the lives. We never know what type of music we're going to hear, whether from you all or what you all ask me to play. So tonight we're going to have a mixture of, we're going to have some Disney, we're going to have some hymns, we're going to have some rock, and we're going to have some traditional folk. So great buffet, right? Those are delicious meals for a buffet. Okay. And Sherry says, if I did it, you can do it. Yes, Sherry, if I remember correctly, was chosen either last week or the 2 weeks before. I think it was last week. But yes, please. So much fun. So here we go. Let's have our first member song request. So drum roll, everybody. So the lottery system chose for the first member song request, Marilyn. All right, so Marilyn, thank you so much for being a member. I don't know if you're joining right now. If not, I hope you get to watch the replay. And that's also, remember too, all live streams instantly get saved on YouTube as a replay as soon as the live stream is done, because I know not everyone can catch it during the live. So definitely feel free to watch the live streams afterwards if you can't catch them during the live. Okay, so Marilyn, you got chosen. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for being a member and helping to support the channel. I promise every single penny from channel memberships goes directly into the channel, like every single penny, to help support and sustain the channel. So Marilyn's song request in her chart that she filled out for me was When You Wish Upon a Star, the classic Disney song from Pinocchio. Beautiful song. Definitely, if people request a Disney song from me, it's like one of the top 10 Disney songs that are very beloved. It's considered like a classic Disney song. So I'm sure you recognize it. Let me know in the chats. Do you know this song? Have you tried playing this song? Let me know in the chats. Do you have a favorite Disney song? And this is from Pinocchio, right? Have you seen Pinocchio? Do you remember the Pinocchio? Here's my funny Pinocchio story really fast. One Halloween when I was a kid, because I was a big Disney kid, one Halloween I went as Pinocchio and my costume was super cool, and only did it come with like this fake long nose, because Pinocchio has a long nose when he lies, right? But it had the Pinocchio costume, but it came with these little wooden like pegs that you put on like on rubber bands, and you put them around your elbows and your knees, so you clanked like you were a puppet, a wooden puppet, when you walked around. It was very cute. I was adorable. So that's my Pinocchio story. Okay, so Marilyn, this is for you. I'm going to play When You Wish Upon a Star. I hope everyone likes it. Let me know in the comment section. Do you like this song or not? Yeah? So I don't know why this camera is being done, but if the camera goes fizzy for a minute, just ignore it. You'll still get to hear. Yeah? So I hope you like it. And when I play the songs, I mute my mic so you don't hear my fingers clicking the keys. So I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to play When You Wish Upon a Star for Marilyn and for all of you. It's a sweet way to start the channel. And I hope you like it. And then I'll join back in with you all. All right. So keep chatting with me in the comments. Let me know your favorite Disney songs if you got one, or if you know this song. All right, here we go. When You Wish Upon a Star for Marilyn. All right, Marilyn, that was When You Wish Upon a Star, just for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being a member. I really appreciate it. So I love, like I said, I love Pinocchio. I had a very cute Pinocchio outfit that I told you about. Yeah, I love Disney songs, and that's definitely one of my favorites. It's a classic, iconic, right? And Disney, even to this day, still uses that tune for a lot of their, advertisements and commercials and kind of branding. Just a great song. All right, let me check in. Let's see if we have any Disney fans in the audience. All right, we got, hey, Brenda in Florida. Awesome. Yes, I agree. It's a classic Disney song. Hey, in Pennsylvania. Oh, we got Australia here. Hey, welcome. Sherry says, you always make the song sound so dreamy, lovely. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. those type of songs very much lend themselves to being dreamlike, right? Which is a lovely way to play piano. Hey, in the Netherlands. Great. Pat says that should be on one of those music boxes that they put inside stuffed animals for infants. Beautiful and peaceful. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, a lot of the classic Disney tunes make really nice lullabies. Like, I love playing them in a very sweet, gentle way. They're not popish pop songs or rock songs. They're just very sweet and heartwarming. You know, like that classic Disney sound. So they're always really fun to play, and they're requested a lot. Disney's very much a popular song request for me out in the real world. Jared says beautiful voices. Thank you. I appreciate it. Here's that stupid camera again, right? Ugh. I don't know what's going on. Don says, when you wish upon a star has an iconic, hopeful, and universal message. No wonder it has endured all over the years since 1939. Yeah, it's gorgeous, right? How can you beat? Like, just so beautiful, so iconic. I love it. I love it so much. All right. I appreciate all the hand emojis. Excellent. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Sonas says, I love Everybody Wants to Be a Cat from the Aristocats. Oh, that's a fun one, right? I've played that before in jazz songs, jazz clubs too. But, it's a really fun bluesy type of thing. Love it, love it. Sharon says, so beautiful, Matt. You practice what you preach. Thank you. I always want to be a truth teller. I practice what I preach. Carlos says, Jiminy Cricket. Yes, this is the song that in the movie Jiminy Cricket sings. Great. Charmaine says, we have so many nations represented here tonight. I love it. Yes, I love it. I love how many people join. I so appreciate it. So now let's have our first audience coaching. So I played, now it's your all's turn. All right, so let's see who the lottery chose. Our first audience participant is, drum roll, is Will. All right, I don't know if Will is in here. We actually have several Wills who are part of the community. So this is the Will who sent in a video of himself. This was fun. Sent in a video of himself improvising just rock, like trying to improvise rock music, and he puts it with a drum machine, which is very, very cool. And I want to encourage you all, and I've said this in the past too, it doesn't have to be that you're playing like a real song or a full song to submit. You can submit, right? Sherry, when she was chosen last week, if I remember correctly, hers was improvising on some chords. We've had multiple people submit and get chosen for it was a song that they composed. So it doesn't have to be a song. It can be something you're working on, a tactic. Someone even submitted a video of one of the exercises, quote unquote exercises I taught in one of my YouTube videos, and they sent in a video of them doing that tactic, what I taught in the YouTube video. So anything can count, all right? So, Will, this will be fun. Let's see some rock improv. Oh, Will, you're here. Great. Excellent. Glad you're here. So I'm going to now change my screen to this. Let's hope the tech works. Okay, so this is Will with a drum machine, like a sound of a drum going, and he's improvising rock in different ways. So we shall see what we got. We're going to listen to Will. We're going to show him some love, and then we'll talk about it. All right, I'll give some of my feedback. All right, here we go. Hey, I love that. All right, everyone, show some will, some love. That was awesome. that was a lot of fun. So that shows that you can have a lot of fun, quote unquote, practicing your scales and your chords and your key signatures. What I loved is that you were forcing yourself to improvise in different keys. You kept changing keys. This is a great way to practice theory. I've brought this up in several videos that I've made, where if there's a theory concept to learn, initially we'll often learn it in quote unquote an easier key signature like C major or F major or G major. But once you have it solidified, it's wonderful to try to can I do that same thing? Can I play that same thing that I was playing, but in different key signatures? It's a wonderful way to practice key signatures besides just constantly going up and down scales all the time, which I know, for a lot of people is not the most exciting thing to do, to just keep playing scales. So Will, I love that. I love that you were trying to have different key changes and go from one to the other. And what I liked most about that was that you were very smooth. There wasn't hesitations in it, right? There wasn't a pause. And this is where the drum machine actually helped you, because by having a drum machine, it kind of forced your brain to stay on beat and to not have a pause, right? If you're trying to go from like you go to a whole new key, there wasn't a second of hesitation. So that's what you should really be proud of. When it comes to chords changing and going in and out of key signatures, a lot of people think the hard part is playing the chords. I think one of the hardest parts is the transition of it, to go from one key to the other, to the next, to the next, to the next key without any hesitation, because that really makes your brain have to think and be kind of on the edge of your seat. Really keeps you on your toes. So I love that, Will. I love that you found a pattern. You found a great rock pattern. That's very, some of my videos I've posted on YouTube lately, I saw some influences in there. I think you got that, some of the videos with the rocking eighth notes, that chord progression, very, very popular. So my advice, Will, is for you is to I would just want you to keep building on what you've done. You've just laid a fantastic foundation. So now here are the ways to keep building up to it. One is to change the order of the chords. So the 4 chords you were using, we give them numbers because then it works for any key signature. So you were playing, like, let's say we were in C major. Will was playing the 1 chord, the 6th chord, which is a minor chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Very, very common, very popular, probably the 4 most famous or popular chords you can play in any key signature. The 1 chord, the 6 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Now, what's really popular is having those 4 chords, but you mess up the order. You keep changing the order. So, and then you pick an order, and then you try to do that in all the different keys that you were trying to play them in. So for example, instead of it being C, A, F, G, go through it all going with A, F, C, G, right? Change the order of it. So that's one way to level up. Keep trying different changes. And then what if you did 5, 6, 4, 1? Yeah, so that's one thing you can try, Will. Do all the same chords you just played, but rearrange the order and try that new order in all the keys. And then another thing you can try, Will, to just challenge yourself is, if I counted, I think maybe I just saw you put it in the chat. Yeah, so you said you were playing in C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Great, so that's a lot of key signatures. So now I would challenge you, what if we add more key signatures, right? So, the ones that are left are harder ones, but this is a great thing to keep pushing yourself in the deep end, right? When we really master something or we feel great about something, it's great to solidify that and then also try to go to the next level. So we're always trying to move a step forward. So now try and adding some of the harder key signatures, right? So something, you know, like C sharp major, 7 sharps isn't the easiest, but trying to add it. So right there off the bat, that's taking what you've built, but leveling it up. Now, on top of that, Will, what you could practice is, because you're wanting to practice patterns, like these sort of rock patterns. And so right now you're doing the octave bump bump bump, the octave bounce in the left hand, which is very, very rock, so which is great. And you were doing great, sort of like that kind of stuff in your right hand, if I remember correctly. So then try also changing what if you choose a bit of a different groove or a different way to do it. So, Will, I can tell you one popular way. So you all know, if you've been with me for a while and have watched a lot of my YouTube videos, how much do I preach open chord in the left hand? Well, there's also, especially in rock, a version of this in the right hand. And I don't even know if I've actually talked about this yet in a video. Maybe I should. Maybe this will be an upcoming video. But the concept of an open chord is where you're emphasizing the 1 and the 5 chord, right? So I talk a lot about in the left hand, if we're doing like a ballad, right? Where in the left hand, instead of playing the full chord, the bottom, middle, top, you take away the middle and you have the bottom and the top. So that, like C and G for C major chord. And then you put the bottom note on top again. So instead of it being 1, 3, 5, it's 1, 5, 8. So we do that a lot in the left hand, and I've talked about that a ton in videos. So if you've been with my channel for a while, you know I talk a lot about that. But here's in rock how we use it a lot. If we have an open chord, that sounds really nice together. And in the right hand in rock, how many times do you hear something like this? Well, what we're doing is we're jamming on the open chord. But in rock, we do it a lot, not just on piano, but also on organ. Like if I'm playing a rock organ sound on a keyboard, I'm going to emphasize the open chord a lot. So now it's interesting because in rock, you sometimes don't even need the full chord. You don't need the middle because it's insinuated. So for example, if I was playing the C major chord and I'm just playing that C's in the left hand, and in my right hand, I play open chord, and this is a popular pattern of, so like, it's like a roller coaster. Bump, 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 bump. And something like this. Yeah. And in rock, what's also popular, if you really want to challenge yourself, is every time you hit the top note, you hit the bottom note with it. So it gives it like a power punch an octave. And because your right hand is doing busy stuff, now it lets your left hand have more of a syncopation. So instead of doing this time, it can be more like this. Bum, 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 bum. So every time you hit like a C in the right hand, you hit a left hand. And then if you do that for each chord, then you get this sort of fun rock riff. And then you can try that in different key signatures. So depending on, I'm not sure how comfortable or sort of what level you view yourself at, Will, but there's so many different ways to build on this. So one is do everything you just did, but rearrange the order of the chords. That doesn't change anything except the order of the chords. The next level up is do what you've been doing, but add the rest of the key signatures. And then if you really want to level up, you can try different patterns that'll still fit that rock drum thing and trying that open chord riff. It's a really, really popular rock riff, and where you have the left hand instead of going, where it's having the pattern of bum, 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 bum. Yeah? So any of you that are wanting to try rock, and if you feel comfortable, like you feel like you're kind of at an intermediate level and you want to try something a bit more advanced, that's a great one to try as well. Yeah? So I may make a video about that later on, right? I'm always getting video ideas from you all during my weekly live streams. Yeah. So Will, I hope that helps. I love that you tried with a drum machine, right? I love when you all experiment. Someone else, I think, if I remember correctly, maybe it was Pat or someone that also they experimented with like a hybrid keyboard sound of piano keyboard sound with like synthesizer and kind of heavenly sort of bells. I love when you all send me stuff, right? So this is a prime example of you don't have to send me a full song or a real song if you want to still get some feedback from me. Yeah? So thank you so much, Will, for submitting that. I really appreciate it. Excellent job. Keep up the great work. Let me check in here with the chats now. Sharon says, that was fun. I would love to be able to do that. Yeah, you can do it. Remember, my favorite, the story that I tell you all the time is Tortoise and the Hare, right? How many times do I say that to you all if you've been with me? Tortoise and the Hare, all right? Slow and steady wins the race. Be patient with yourself, all right? You can do anything. You just can't do it yet, all right? That's the powerful word, yet. Drum machine metronome. Yeah, absolutely. Fun stuff. Great beat, very enjoyable. Yep, absolutely. Oh, you're most welcome, Will. I'm so glad you liked it. Yeah, covered all the bases. That's right, sure. Love it. Nia says, always a joy having the opportunity. Excellent. Will says, thanks, Matt. Yes, very influenced by your videos. Great. I'm glad I can be an influence, right? A positive influence. Katrina says, lovely. Yeah, Will, you should be very proud of yourself. Will says, I've got a private lesson scheduled with you in a couple of weeks. I'll work on those ideas. Thank you. Excellent. We'll have a blast together, Will. Yeah, and speaking of that, that takes us into the announcement section before we have our second round of song request and audience coaching. So the announcements, I told you all last week, I have an exciting new announcement to tell you all soon. I'm not ready to tell you about it yet, but it's another music project I'm working on. And again, it came from you all, like something that I've been asked about a lot. So I'm very excited. I'll get to announce it to you all soon, like probably in the next, either maybe next week or the week after. So I'm really excited. So you got to stay tuned for that. But as a reminder too, besides the membership that I talked about at the beginning of the live, where you can join the channel as a member, you'll also see in the video description box below the link to my website, matthodgemusic.com. And that's where you'll get the information about the two big ways to really study deep piano with me if you'd like a deeper learning with me beyond just watching my YouTube videos. So one is the one-on-one private lessons. Every single week I carve out in my schedule several time slots to work with people from my YouTube community, and I love working with you all. All right, it's just like this. It's a one-on-one, but you're also on camera, and it's a Zoom session, and it's private and it's virtual, and I've got my face and my hands and the keys and all that stuff, and we do an hour-long one-on-one lesson on whatever you need help with, and it's so wonderful. I've gotten to give several of you all lessons, and you can book one lesson, you can book ongoing lessons, you can book a bulk package of lessons, totally up to you, but I love it. And what's cool is, because it's virtual, after your lesson, I email you a video recording of it. So you sort of get like double lessons in one, because you get to keep learning from it. So you don't have to take a bunch of notes and try to remember a week later, wait, what was it that Matt told me? It lets me show you a bunch of stuff and cover so much more ground with you. And even just if you get one lesson, because you get a video recording of it. So you get to go back and rewatch it as much as you want and save it, so you can learn so much. So it's a lot of fun. If you want information about piano lessons with me, that's on my website, and also my course, my Basic to Beautiful course that I launched a few months ago. I'm so excited about it. It was a huge labor of love to build. I spent a long time building that for you all, and I've had so many, like literally, I'm not lying, every single day I get several emails from people who are either in the course right now or just finished the course and telling me how much they love it, how much it's transformed their piano playing, which means the world to me to hear. So that's another way, the course, and I use the word course, but really it's an entire program. It's a huge program that you get lifetime access to. Tons of stuff. It's so much content. It's at like nearly almost 20 hours at this point. And you get access to tons and tons of videos, and a library of all of my lead sheets. There's almost 200 lead sheets in there at this point, like just tons of stuff. And when you order the course, you get lifetime access to everything I'll add to it. So when I add, because each month I add more videos and more lead sheets and blah, 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 more content to it. So you get lifetime access. So that makes it a really fantastic deal like an incredible deal. So if you're interested in either of those, the one-on-one piano lessons or my course, you can go to my website, matthodgemusic.com. The link to that is in the video description box below. And also don't forget to download my free PDF that I have for you all. Most of you probably already have it, but if you're brand new, hi. I have a PDF booklet that I made for you all, my YouTube audience, for free. It's 40 pages long. It'll always be for free. I won't ever charge for it because I want to give you all something to really help jumpstart your piano journey. And it has so much information in there. It's like I built an encyclopedia of piano playing for you, whatever level you're at. So you can download that for free. You'll see the link in the video description box below. It's called The Ultimate Intro Guide to Piano. It's a 40-page PDF that's free, so you definitely want to download that as well. Or if you have an older version, if you need the newer version, you can click on that link. All right, and if you have trouble downloading it, then also just email me. Okay, so those are all of my announcements. Like I said, stay tuned. I have a really fun big announcement coming in the next week or two that I'm excited to talk to you all about. So, all right, let's get into our second round. All right, let's see here. Let me check in with the chat here again. I love chatting with you all. Yes, a lot of love for Will. I love it. I love it. William says, Matt sounding a little like Eddie and the Cruisers. Thank you. Sky says, 59 watching, 19 likes, like. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, yes. Also, take a second to click like if you're enjoying the video. YouTube likes all that stuff. So I'd appreciate the little like clicks. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so let's get into our second round. We have our member song request and our audience coaching. All right, let me make sure the keyboard's still working. I notice how many times during a live session I keep doing this, because I've learned that with the tech, if I let the keyboard rest for a long time without it being touched, sometimes that causes it to go out. Then I have to take a second to reset it. So that's why I'm just randomly hitting notes. Okay, so let's have a drum roll for our second member song request. All right, everybody. Drum roll, our second member for tonight. Lottery chose... Where is it? Oh, Carol. All right, so Carol, I don't know if you're joining with us. I hope so. If not, I hope you get to rewatch the replay. And Carol requested the hymn, Nearer My God to Thee. All right, so here's what I want to do. We don't always do this in lives because I want my lives to be a lot of fun. But, you know, I talk so much in my videos and in my lessons and the course and whatnot. You all know that what I think is most important and valuable of music is when music is beautiful, when music touches us. And I will say, Nearer My God to Thee, when I saw that she had requested this, that Carol requested this is a song that sadly I have played many times. You all probably know it's a really popular song for funerals. There's a famous story about it, that Nearer My God to Thee is what the musicians played on the Titanic as it was sinking. There's a lot of like history to it, and so it sort of it's become associated with sort of a peaceful song connected to grief and death. And I've had to play this song many times at many funerals, which is just a sad reality. So here's what I want to do. I don't think I've ever done this before in a live, and it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're religious or not. But as I play it, normally I would be like, chat with me and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. As I play it, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about someone that you love. And I went about someone who maybe isn't here with us anymore. I definitely have lost multiple people in the last couple of years who really meant the world to me. And this is just one of those songs that there's usually a more like a depth to it and a maturity to it. And so I want you to, and I'm going to also really respect the song. I'm not going to turn it into my big, I'm not going to turn it into something big dramatic. I'm just going to let the song be its beautiful self, the way that people use it. So I don't know if Carol, if you're watching, I don't know if that's why you requested it, if it kind of reminds you of that sort of how we use it in our culture, connected to honoring people we've lost or people who have died. But that's my connection to it. And since I'm the one playing it, that's what I want to do. So this will be, I promise we'll get back to our fun energy. But let's take a minute. Let's remind ourselves why we love music and the beauty of it. And I'm going to play Near My God to Thee. And if you want to, you can close your eyes and think about someone that you love. Okay? So let me make sure that it's working again. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to mute my mic again. All right. So Carol, thank you for requesting that song, Nearer My God to Thee. Beautiful old hymn, classic hymn. And like I said, sadly, I've had to play that for a lot of funeral memorial services. So it always sort of means that to me. So thank you. Thank you all so much. All right. Thank you all for the sweet comments. I appreciate it. Sona says, very beautiful, Matt. I was remembering our little cat, Luna, who we lost a few weeks ago. She's missed. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I have a cat who's my baby. Her name is Selena. So very sorry to hear that. Thank you, Will. Very moving. Thank you, Sherry. Beautiful. Thank you, Don. Just beautiful, Matt. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you for the beautiful heart emojis. Diana says, you had me in tears before you even hit a note. Thank you for your sentimentality. Yes, of course. Right. That's the beautiful part about music. We can always have fun with music, but really at the end of the day, I think we all probably love music the most when it hits us somehow, either in a nostalgic way or an emotional way. Even if it's like a fun upbeat song, there's definitely many like rock songs that have a lot of like emotional nostalgia to me, or an emotional connection, right? And we all have that. That's the beautiful thing about music, right? Like, you want to learn to play piano because it means something to you, probably because music means something to you. Songs remind you of people you love and of beautiful memories or sad memories or hard memories. And so that's always a wonderful way to use music. So Will says, maybe make a medley with My Heart Will Go On. Yeah, that's a beautiful song as well. Yes, I've definitely played that for many requests. Yeah, that's a beautiful song. All right, really beautiful song from Celine Dion. Awesome. Malta says, lots of 158 in the left hand on that one. Yeah. I show a lot of open chords, right? It just really helps balance out a sound for so many reasons. It's one of my top go-tos, especially for left hand. It's not the only go-to. I've got kind of 4 or 5 that are sort of my standard go-tos, but it's definitely probably number one. That's why I talk about it a lot. I want you all to learn to get used to it. Pat says, wonderful tribute. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so let's have now our last audience coaching. All right, so let's get our energy back up. All right, let's see what we got. So our lottery for our second audience coaching was Joanna. All right, Joanna, so I don't know if you are here with us. If not, I hope you get to watch the replay. And Joanna sent in a video of her playing Simple Gifts. So I love that song. Beautiful, traditional shaker tune. Really lovely, like a beautiful, traditional sort of folk song. We hear it a lot around Thanksgiving time and kind of our culture. But really cool. So Joanna, thank you so much for submitting. And I'm going to, let's see, split the screen, and we are going to listen to Joanna play Simple Gifts, and then we will talk about it. And I also want to remind you all what I point out every week too, that I want to also hear these things for the first time with you all. So when you all submit something, I only listen to like the first 10 seconds just to make sure the thing works. But I don't listen to it all because I want to be surprised. That's why when I'm watching, I'm kind of turning my head and looking at the screen and looking at your fingers or whatnot, because I'm hearing it for the first time with you all. So my feedback that I give you all is like, it's whatever the first thing that kind of pops into my head, which is a lot of fun for me and hopefully for you all. All right, Joanna, this is Joanna playing Simple Gifts. Nice. All right. Very, very nice, Joanna. All right, everyone give Joanna a round of applause. Excellent. So, beautiful tune, beautiful song. I love playing this around, especially it's usually requested a lot around Thanksgiving time, but it's a beautiful song all year round. And you all know me, I love traditional songs. I love folk tunes. Those are some of my favorite songs to play. I talk about them a lot in my videos and in my live stream. So I love, Joanna, that you played something like that. So what I really loved is I was trying to see, right? Trying to watch you. So you were playing from sheet music that had both parts written out, I think, from what I could see, which is wonderful, right? You all know that I personally preach, lead sheets a lot, but by all means, you do not, lead sheets aren't the only thing to play. So please feel free. Several of you have turned in videos where like you're reading full sheet music. Absolutely, right? I love it. I love it. So because of that, Joanne, what I love the most about it, Joanna, is that I can tell you've really practiced it, right? When you have to read sheet music and you have two fingers, going on at the same time, like whatever you were playing, that takes skill, right? That takes a lot of practice. So especially that hand independence, when you have two hands going like that with treble and bass clef, and they're kind of, it's like melody and counterpart and whatnot, that takes a long time to practice and feel comfortable with and have hand independence, especially that arrangement you were playing where the notes are moving quickly. The song has a lot of eighth notes in it. So really nice job on that. You should be really proud of that. So because you are not reading from a lead sheet and you're reading from like written out music, I don't necessarily, my instinct isn't to change what you're playing. I just want to help you sort of think about new ways of how to play it. Because if I go into, we'll change the chord to this and the notes, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's trying to rearrange what you're looking at. It'd be different if you were looking at a lead sheet, but I don't want to do that. So here's what my recommendation is, because now, and you were already doing this already, so I want to preface that. I heard a lot of hints of this. I just want to encourage you to try it even more, because this is a great song to try it on. Because you seem really confident in the notes and you've learned them and this really well, even with something like this that has moving parts to it, and it kind of goes, there's a lot of eighth notes and a lot of notes going on. That doesn't mean we still can't have really beautiful phrasing and beautiful arcs. And this goes for any of you all. If you're ever playing something that feels like there's a lot of notes, like it's moving. It's kind of like a train, going down the tracks. It doesn't mean we still can't have phrasing and let music breathe, right? So you all know when I use that word, when I say let the music breathe, I talk a lot about this with my students and my clients, and I've made several videos about it too, where you really let yourself have a human approach to multiple things, to dynamic levels, which means how loud or soft are you playing, your tempo, how fast or slow are you playing, and your pedaling and your touch. But especially with the first two, the dynamics and the tempo, letting yourself be fluid with that can really make a world of difference, right? So for example, if I wanted to go, again, I don't have your sheet music in front of you, so I'm just gonna kind of make up something for simple gifts. But if it's the concept of, I think you were playing in A major, right? Let's see. Yep, you were playing A major. So if you have the melody and you've got, a counterpoint in your left hand, there's a difference between going something like this versus trying to do something like this. Right, there's like a humanness to it, right? Whether you add notes or not. So even when I play this song, right, and I kind of do my Matt Hodge stuff on it, right? Even though the song could easily be just sort of like a what I call like a click song, which is where there's a metronome to it, and it's very much a da 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 da. But if you get to turn it into an instrumental solo piano, why not try to make it a bit more beautiful, right? So like when I play Simple Gifts, if I'm making something up, it has kind of that feel. right? And when I do it to show you on example, I purposely do a lot of like, right? I wouldn't always play like that on stage. I'm not always like, right? I kind of look like I am. Like I'm one of those inflatable things you put outside of a car lot. But it's to show you the concept of feeling that. And honestly, I'll tell my piano students and clients, if you're home alone and you know no one's watching, so you won't feel dumb doing it, make yourself, when you're practicing breathing and giving like an emotional arc to the music, make yourself do physical things, because you will feel silly doing it initially. Even if you're alone, you'll still feel silly doing it, but it actually makes a huge difference, because you'll notice it trains your brain to start to always think about that, right? So that's why when I'm playing and I'm teaching you all something or showing you something, I'm doing that. I'm having a lot of breathing, right? And showing you physically how you can feel it. You know, like whatever it is. So Joanna, because you've done such a great job of learning the notes, because you can still do this whole arc and breathing even if you're reading full sheet music, because sometimes, because I've gotten this question before, does the whole making music breathe and trying to give it an arc and all of that stuff, does that really only mainly work when you're playing off lead sheets because you have so much freedom, quote unquote freedom, with lead sheets? And the answer is no. You can do it with full sheet music, right? I have several clients that they want to learn classical music, so we're still learning, you know, like we have full traditional sheet music, they're not lead sheets and we're playing it, but there's still a way to do it, right? So if you're playing for Elise from Beethoven, the clicky way, which is a bunch of eighth notes, kind of like what Simple Gifts is, the clicky way to play it would be right? But how can we still do that? We're not going to rewrite the music, but we're going to give it a human breath. You know what I mean? It's little differences that make all the difference in the world. So this is a great one for you to practice that, because that doesn't not just work on lead sheets. It works with full music. Even when you're playing something like this, that everything's written out and you have one note like one note melody in the treble clef and one note harmony in the bass clef, and it's a bunch of eighth notes going together. You can still do that in a breathing way and practice, like, what if this line got a little faster? What if it got a little slower? What if this moment I kind of hovered for a bit? What if I got a little louder, a little softer? And then you still get to feel, it's a great way for you to feel like you are in the driver's seat and you are totally in control of a song, even more so when it's not a lead sheet. When you're playing from a lead sheet and you're kind of getting to make up a lot of the chords and how you play music, you get to feel really in control. When you're playing music that's fully written out, the treble, bass clef, and like that's the ink you're playing and you're not adding anything, then to really feel like you're in control of it and not just you're kind of mimicking ink on a page, adding that arc and breathing is a great way to feel like you're in control of it, right? I'm not going to rewrite Beethoven's For Elise if I have the sheet music in front of me, right? It's going to be right. Like, I'm not just going to rewrite it if I want to play the true version, but that doesn't mean I don't want to still feel in total control of it. That feels like I'm in the driver's seat of it. Yeah, so you can do that with a song like Simple Gifts, Joanna. Yeah, so you should be really proud of yourself, and this is a great like icing on the cake stuff to add, because you've done such a great job learning that particular arrangement, because there's so many different arrangements of simple gifts you can find from all different levels. So you should be proud of yourself. What you were playing is not an easy arrangement. That wasn't beginner level, and you had some really complicated hand parts and hand independence going, so you should be really, really proud of yourself that you can do that. So now the icing on the cake is, let's really add some beautiful human emotion into it. And how can you turn this into something that has a beautiful emotional arc, and we're letting music, quote unquote, breathe? Yeah, I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. I think you'll be able to tell a big difference once you play it. One sounds like a piano player playing notes on a page. Yeah, one is a pianist making music. You know, like whatever it is, whatever the notes are. Yeah? So I hope that helps you out, Joanna, and that's something for all of you to really think about, right? No matter what you're playing, no matter if it's from a lead sheet or it's full sheet music or treble bass, you can still add arc. You can still fill and control of it by adding breathing and having fun figuring that stuff out with the tempo, the dynamics, right? Let stuff really breathe. And then you get to decide too, for the song, what feels kind of appropriate. You can do it in subtle ways. You can do it in big dramatic ways, right? So, you know, even though I want to play every song with a breathing way, I still may, you know, I'll have to decide in the moment what feels like too much, right? Like, so for simple gifts, I wouldn't, because the song is known for having a melody that goes. So I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to go like this. I mean, that's a bit overdoing it, right? It's like, how much breathing does it feel like that I'm enhancing the song, not taking away from it? Yeah. But you get to decide that. So if I'm playing simple gifts, my breathing will just be a little bit. Yeah. But earlier in the live stream, when I played When You Wish Upon a Star, the first member song dedication, that one, you know, Disney can be, you know, heartwarming and a little schmaltzy, and like you can really bring out the emotion and that type of stuff. So that's why I really let it breathe, right? When I was going. Like I can do it at a more, not extreme, but at a more exaggerated level, because that style of song, it can kind of fit it. Yeah. So you get to decide. Cool. So Joanna, thank you so much for sending in that awesome video. Be really proud of yourself. Very beautiful job. So keep up the great work. Now you're at a beautiful place to add some great icing on the cake, right? How much deliciousness can a cake have when you have like the perfect icing on it? Yeah. All right. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. All right. Again, I want all of you, if you're watching, I want all of you to participate. All right. So remember, the audience coaching is for anyone. The song requests are for the members. All right. But remember, you can join as a member anytime. You can literally join just for a couple of bucks each month, and you can cancel anytime, and you just click the join button below. It's all through YouTube. But once you become a member, you get instant access to so many videos, all of the library members videos. There's so many, and they each break down popular songs and lead sheets and whatnot. So it's a wonderful way to, if you'd like to help support the channel and get access to a bunch more content with me for just like a few bucks a month. And you get the song requests. Audience coaching, what we just did with Joanna and with Will, for any of you. All right. So I want you to send stuff in. All right. So many of you still email me, and I told you all this last week if you were with me. So I get so many emails each week saying, I'm thinking about it, but I'm really nervous, or I'm embarrassed or shy. Stop it. Okay? I promise you, I am not here to humiliate you, to embarrass you. I do not care if you play Happy Birthday at the most beginner level imaginable with one finger. I still want you to submit, for real, because I always want to remind you, whatever level you're at today, you should be proud of that because you weren't at that level earlier, right? So if all you can do is play Happy Birthday with one finger, well, there was a day recently that probably you couldn't do that. So we're always going to celebrate progress. I am never going to yell at you for hitting a wrong note. Good Lord, I hit a ton of wrong notes every week for you all when I'm just improvising songs. That's why I just improvise in real time and not look up in advance what songs you all are requesting from me, because I don't want to be perfect. I don't want When You Wish Upon a Star to sound like I've rehearsed it for hours and hours. I want to just do it and see what happens, right? Using all the stuff that I teach you all. Because I'm probably going to hit a wrong note or a wrong chord, and that's great to show you all. It's just by keep on, right? Keep on and carry on. So I want you to submit. Remember, if you've already been chosen in the past, because now we're into about month 3 of doing this. We've been doing this since January 1st, and I love this. I love that this is what our weekly lives are. If you've been selected in the past, you can resubmit, all right? You can still get chosen. The only stipulation to that is, just to be fair, if you get chosen, if the lottery chooses you 2 weeks in a row, I'll put you back in just to be a little fair. But other than that, you can get selected several times. So if you've already been selected, send more. Or if you want to send multiples at a time, that's totally fine too. You don't have to just send one. You can send me 3 or 4 videos and audios if you want. All right. Remember, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to give me I don't have to say your real name out loud if you don't want to. You just let me know in the chart. So the link to submit is in the video description box below. It's called, I always get it wrong. What did I call it? I called it the free mini piano lesson form. All right. So that's the link that you want to look at. Yeah. And then also, while you're down there, check out those other links, right? If you, there's a bunch of links down there you can check out. One goes to the website. One is for the free PDF download. If you don't have my free PDF booklet yet, remember the website is where you'll get information about my course and about the one-on-one piano lessons. Yeah. Oh, and one last thing to say about the course, because someone emailed me about this morning. I always want to point out too, you'll see on the website for the course is risk-free to try, because I'll also get people that say, I'm interested in the course, but I don't know if it's right for me or kind of like the level I'm at. So you get a 7-day trial. So when you order it, you get 7 days to just have fun and go through it and look at all the stuff. And then if for some reason within 7 days of your purchase, it's just not for you, all you have to do is just email me and say, hey Matt, love the course, but it looks like it's not really for me. And I'll happily give you a full refund, right? And I mean, obviously you'll lose access to all the content, but happily give you a free refund, full refund. All right. No questions asked. So you get a 7-day free trial. So it's completely risk-free. And I've been able to add a new setting to it, which I was happy about too, where you can either pay for it all at once, or you can break it up over several installments, like 4 payments over every couple of weeks. So that also makes it a lot easier to pay for if you'd like that, because several of you requested that. Is there a way to do installments if we wanted? Absolutely. So totally risk-free. Okay. So email me anytime, matthodgemusic@gmail.com. If you're on my email list, you're getting my weekly emails, and you can just reply directly to it if you ever have questions for me about the live streams, about about submitting to the audience coaching, about what channel membership is, about piano lessons, about the piano course. I'm here for you. I'm your public servant, and I love being here to help you all crush your goals, because that's truly my passion in life, to help as many piano players discover the love of piano the way that I love it. I want you all to feel the joy that I feel when I'm at a piano. And I promise you, you can feel that joy. You just have to be motivated. You have to be willing to work, but you also have to have an open heart to learning piano in all the beautiful ways. And I try really hard in my lessons and in my YouTube videos and in the course to make it fun, interesting, engaging, and rewarding, and never feel like you're just wasting time practicing piano. All right, I want you to find the beauty of it, and I'm here to help you with that, because my teachers did that for me. And I always told myself, if I ever was blessed with the career that I wanted, which I've been very blessed with an incredible career, that I would pay it forward, just like they did for me. So I'm paying it forward to you all. Yeah. All right. So let me check in here last minute with any ending chats as we start to wrap up. Let's see. Yes, a lot of love for Joanna. I love it, love it. Elvin says, I love to play four release. I think it sounds great to play it kind of slow. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, you get to be in control of stuff. Joanna, thank you for all your support. Yay, you've been here. And thank you, Matt, for your advice. I realized it was quite stiff. I'm doing a lot more on lead sheets now, but we'll work on expression. Excellent, Joanna. I love that. And listen, it wasn't stiff, all right? It wasn't stiff. It's just there's more icing on the cake to be had. Yeah, and I love that you're also working on lead sheets. Lead sheets are a great way. So I recommend maybe even finding lead sheets to songs you have been playing sheet music on. Like, for example, find a lead sheet to Simple Gifts instead of like the full one. So it's a song you're already familiar with, but you get to kind of relearn it in an interesting, more creative, crafting it yourself way, which is a great way to transition into lead sheets. Great Brenda says, level of love, the golden nuggets that Matt shares to help music sound more expressive and fun. I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to share as many golden nuggets as possible. I always want to show you all the wizard behind the curtain. I'm not here to gatekeep anything. I'm not here holding secrets. I'm telling you every single secret that what we're doing, you know, in the professional world of music, what we're doing in the studio and on stages and everywhere. I'm telling it all. I'm giving away every single secret. So you all are hopefully enjoying it. Joanne says, thank you all to your motivation. Yes, exactly. Love it. Good evening, Will. Yeah, great evening with Piano Mates. Absolutely, I love that. Ray says, thank you to Matt and everyone. It was a wonderful, entertaining evening. Excellent. That's always what I want our weekly live streams to be. I want us to have fun together and show each other some love and positive energy and share in the joy of piano. Right? What better way to spend an evening together, right? Don says, thank you, Matt. I always take away something to add to my toolkit. You're an amazing cheerleader. Aw, thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Sona says, always an enjoyable time. So glad it's on earlier now so I can catch it in the UK. Yeah, because we had, in the area I'm in, the daylight savings time, it changed the time zone change. So I'm glad that helps you catch it. Excellent. Love it. Oh yes, I see people reminding everyone, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. YouTube always likes that stuff, right? We're always sort of bowing down to the algorithm of YouTube. Sky says, thank you all. Take care and be safe. Absolutely, yes. Judy says, thank you. You're so welcome. Sona says, enjoy the rest of the week, everyone. Best wishes for now. Yep. Sherry says, thanks, Matt. I so love your channel, your attitude, your knowledge, and your teaching style. Thank you. Hickory, North Carolina. Well, thanks for watching from Hickory, North Carolina, and I really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy my my attitude and teaching style. Hopefully I don't have a negative attitude, right? I will never yell at you for hitting a wrong note or slap your wrist with a ruler. I'm here to encourage you and to help you find joy. All right, Diana says, thank you, Matt, for another inspiring Tuesday evening. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Diana. Tim says, had surgery this AM. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tim. And my brain fog just lifted, but too late to watch. We'll watch the recording as soon as it's up. Oh, sure, absolutely, right? That's the great thing about lives. You can instantly rewatch them. So rewatch it anytime you want. Dan says, love your teaching and commentary. Another fun evening. Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Let's see. Thank you, Matt Hodge. Oh, you're so welcome. Be well. Yes, absolutely. Best night of the week. Oh, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Sharon says, another great live session. Thank you all so much. So I send all that love back to you all. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to you all. We will be back together the next live stream. Be on the lookout. I can go ahead and tell you what videos you can be on the lookout for the rest of the week. Yesterday, you got one from me helping you dissect major and minor chords. Even if you think you know them, it's a discussion of like, why are they so important? So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Tomorrow, coming your way, is a video on walking bass. It's sort of a part two. A few months ago, I did one on walking bass, and it was so popular, I made another one with even another technique, because walking bass, there's multiple techniques. So we have a fun one for you in the morning. And then Friday, I have a video about my advice of why so many people quit, and so many people, the lessons and the students and clients I get that come to me, and I ask them, why did you quit? piano? Or why did you not start piano to hear? We go through that, and I give you my very honest, brutally honest advice about that stuff, and hopefully it'll inspire you to not quit or to start if you've had some excuses of why you didn't want to start. And then Saturday, your members video. If you're a member, your members video this time, last week, it was Chariots of Fire. This week, you're going to get Summertime, the awesome, beautiful jazz song, Summertime. So if you're a member, you got that coming your way. And that's all the stuff for this week. So I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. And I'll see you back here live with me next Tuesday. And until then, check out all the rest of the videos coming your way. Email me if you have any questions about the lessons or the course or the memberships or anything like that. All right. Submit to the audience coaching. All right. I want to see a bunch of submissions coming in. Okay. So you all have my heart. Thank you all so much. Keep making beautiful music on the piano, and I'll see you next time, my friends. All right. Bye.